Welcome to the Beyond Film Podcast. I am Justin.
I'm Tyler.
I'm Ryan.
And boys, let's talk about the new Evil Dead movie.
I'm so excited
not a
for this
mummy
argument.
I mean, it might be the best Evil
Might be
Dead
better
movie
than the
where a
mummy.
character gets their dogs licked by a mummy. So, I mean, yeah. I mean, we have this thing in this podcast where we don't like to talk about the movie before we get on the podcast. But I mean, if Ryan is any decent reader of body language, he already knows how I feel about this movie.
I actually want to say that I actually got a text message from my brother right before we started recording this. And he said, man, those guys hated that movie. But I think we're right. I think it was such a good movie.
We're right. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
All right,
as in me and my brother.
Okay.
Lee Cronin's The Mummy. First off, why did they have to attach Lee Cronin's name to this? If anything, I think it actually kind of hurts the movie. Because I mean, Lee Cronin is not Wes Craven or John Carpenter. He doesn't have a reputation to protect here with this movie by saying this is my creative vision. But
I think the original plan was to specify so people didn't go into it thinking that it was just another remake of The Mummy. And I think it actually, like you said, kind of hurt because everybody kind of thought it was just going to be The Mummy.
Well, and see, that would make sense. But if you look on the film's Twitter page, they have a bunch of crap out there, where they tweeted several times, Brendan Fraser is not in this movie. Brendan Fraser is not in this movie. Brendan Fraser is not in this movie.
I don't even mean that. No. I'm talking about the original Mummy, the Universal Monsters Mummy. That's what people went into this thinking that it was going to be.
I mean, I guess, I mean, if they watched the trailer, they would know that that's not the case. But, yeah, okay, so Lee Cronin's The Mummy is a horror take on the traditional mummy story involving a couple who has to live in Egypt for their work. Their daughter is kidnapped and disappears for several years. When she is found, horror, hilarity, horror, grossness ensues. Ryan, go ahead. Kickstart our discussion on Lee Cronin's The Mummy. What did you think of it?
Okay, so I come from two different sides here. It's obviously connected in some way, shape, or form to the cinematic universe of Evil Dead. I know Lee Cronin went on record saying that it is in the same cinematic universe. Is it an Evil Dead movie? It's got the bones and the body of one, minus the Necronomicon. I think that it's got really good potential. I think the movie could have been cut down a little bit. I think that the mystery of the movie that they kept pushing was actually kind of a slog, and I wish they would have just said what was going on right away. Because there was no real reward for figuring it out in the end, because you kind of knew the whole movie what was going on. I don't know. It was an interesting take, and it was fine. I enjoyed it in the same way that I probably will not rewatch it like I do other Evil Dead movies or other horror movies. But it was a good one-time watch.
All right, Justin?
Yeah, it was a struggle to watch. I mean, it got to the point where I was like, I don't even care if anyone lives at this point. Just kill everybody. Everyone's dumb. The grandma, how many times do you have to come to the conclusion, my granddaughter is psychotic and she's bitten me and attacked me twice. Let me continue to keep getting in her face.
I'm not alone!
The parents, where are you guys at? Your one son's banging his fucking head on the bedpost. Your daughter's ripping her teeth out at the freaking table. Nobody hears a freaking crack in the ceiling of, shit falling. How dumb are everybody? And then, what was the story? I think we should help our daughter. Yes, let's give her hugs and kisses, because that will fix the problem of our re-dead daughter, or whatever the hell she is. I mean, it just kept going. It's we should help our daughter. Nope, she's got to stay here. Yes, let's keep her here, because she's mentally well here. We have the tools to take care of her. I mean, it's just... Wow. It was just dumb. It made me actually have more appreciation for Silent Hill. I'm not saying it's as bad as Silent Hill, but I feel like now I have to bump up Silent Hill to a full star
You
instead
are
of half a
going
star because of
way
this.
overboard. Way.
I
This
mean,
is not
this was a
that bad of a
slog.
movie. It was not a
It
slog. It was
was
actually way better than
it
Silent
was
Hill.
a slog.
It was better than The Materialist. It was better than The Drama. It was a great film. And like I said, it
now it's great.
well,
Okay.
yes, because you
Great?
guys don't like it. Now I'm gonna say great.
Well, then you better rewatch this every year because I'm
Yeah,
I
not
might.
rewatching this
I
again.
might.
No. He literally just said he's not going to rewatch it, despite the movie being great. So that makes sense.
It's a
All
great
right.
one-time watch.
No.
I don't think that makes a great.
Primate was a great time watch.
If I was, what was a great time watch? What?
Primate, I enjoyed that.
Primate
I'd
was a
be
great
fine
movie.
if I never watched
Yeah.
it again.
We all agree on that.
But like, I don't ever want to watch this
What
again.
what's
even-
your flaws with the movie though? To say that it's awful, it's catastrophic. Whatever.
Characters are. I didn't say it was catastrophic, but it was really hard to watch. Like the characters are dumb. Nobody notices half the things going on here. We're in the same motion of we need to help our daughter. Yes, I'm trying to help our daughter. What are you trying to do? You're telling me I'm a bad parent? That's not what I said. Like they just keep going back and forth with it. The grandma keeps getting attacked, not realizing that her daughter is a problem and I should stay away from her. We're not watching the kids that we already have and making sure they're okay too until like everything just blows up and it doesn't feel like a mummy movie.
That's
at
an
all
Evil Dead
until
movie,
the end.
Justin. That's how Evil Dead
It's
works.
not an Evil Dead movie. It's the Mummy. Don't put the Mummy in it if you're not going to be a Mummy movie. That's like making an Evil Dead movie and calling it Starship Troopers. It's two different things. I don't even care if, because I know this was an Evil Dead movie until the studio said, no, we're not doing it. And then we're like, well, let's just make a Mummy movie and just put this in there. Like, you could have put Dracula or Frankenstein's monster and it would have been the same thing.
I think it fits relatively, though. I think that the idea of expanding past Kandarian demons into more of Egyptian religious folklore, I think that would be the next step for allowing separations of Evil Dead. I think that's a fun step to take. Do I think the movie dragged a little bit? Yes. Do I think that some of the choices were kind of questionable? Yes, but like that's a horror movie. Like I don't think there were any crazy suggestions. They found their daughter in like what do you expect them to be like? Oh, we
They
should
did. They got lucky.
we
They got
should
lucky.
we should take her out to the backyard and shoot her immediately because she's acting weird. Like I don't know.
No, get her
The
help.
dad made a great point.
Bring in a single expert.
Therapist.
Bring
Yeah.
in a
Yeah. Okay.
doctor.
When you say that, maybe we do get a therapist at some point. But
Yeah.
Like, what do
Something-
you mean?
The dad made a good point. Like, hey, we can't help her at this moment, and it's just a temporary thing. And then the mom immediately says, "Oh, you say I'm a bad parent?" He's like, "I never said that. Nobody said you're a bad parent."
but the whole
Like, we
movie
get you
takes
want to
place
take care
over
of her,
what,
but
like
you don't have the skills.
a week? Like what are the waiting lists on a therapist in New Mexico?
It doesn't matter. Like, okay. Is it my turn?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. So, Justin, I 100% agree with you. This movie's terrible. And I am fully under the impression that Ryan also thinks this movie's terrible, and he is just doing it to rage bait me because we all watch the same movie. I know Ryan knows his stuff when it comes to horror movies, and he knows a bad horror movie when he sees it. And if he's gonna live in some abject reality that this movie is anywhere near as good as his beloved Evil Dead franchise, then he needs to go to hell. Like,
Whoa. I never said it was as good as the Evil Dead franchise. I said it was a part of the Evil Dead franchise.
You said it was a great movie.
It is a great movie.
It's not a great movie, Ryan. This is Evil Dead Mummy. Okay, so I don't even know where to begin, frankly. Like this movie is okay. You know what? I'll begin by giving it some credit. I think that if you go into this movie wanting a body horror gross out fest, then you're going to leave pretty satisfied. The movie does a really good job with its visuals of creating some really, really great gore images. Like, I don't think it's that big of a spoiler, but there's one involving a toenail that made me cringe in my seat. It was good. A lot of the body horror stuff, especially with the girl who was the mummy, really works for me. I also think it's pretty well shot. Like, despite me ragging on Lee Cronin as a director, and despite me not liking Evil Dead Rise that much, I think whatever cinematographer he's working with can shoot the hell out of a movie. And production design, like for how little it uses the Egypt stuff, like I think it uses it rather effectively. The house in New Mexico looks pretty good. As like they have this like weird like crawl space part of their walls that ends up playing kind of a big part of the movie that I think works really well at creating a sense of like a lack of space, right? But I mean, that's about all it's got. Like, I would be willing to forgive a lot with horror, and I do. But this movie, as I was thinking about it, reminds me of that paranormal demonic possession horror schlock that we got just year after year after year after Paranormal Activity came out. And it's just astonishing that a movie like that is coming out in 2026 when we know horror can be better. Like, Justin's 100% right on the money here. All these characters are paper thin. Like the only person you recognize in here is Jack Rayner, and I think he's doing a horrible job. He's basically just walking around the whole movie bug-eyed at like all the crap that's happening in his house. The mom is a terrible character. Like, I kind of wish she would have died. The grandma was like, yeah, Justin is right. This plot, this story does not work because it's just one stupid decision after another that takes me out of the movie. So in between all of the cool gore stuff, I still have to pay attention to a 2 hour and 11-minute horror movie. And I'm just constantly being taken out by its gaps in logic and its horrible decision making. Like, the movie very clearly wears its influences on its sleeve. It's basically an Evil Dead movie, to the point where I think this is Lee Cronin giving an FU to the studios because they wouldn't let him make another Evil Dead movie. He's like, screw you, I'm gonna make one anyway. Like, down to the fact that like somehow the mummy can like create acolytes and they're basically deadites. like tell me like later on in the movie when the grandma becomes the sister, the brother, like they're deadites. Like, come on, Ryan.
Yeah,
Even the voice sounds
shared,
very much like a Deadeye.
it shared some similarities to Evil Dead Rise.
I mean,
I'll
a
admit
character
that.
finds a way out of a window. It's The Omen. The dogs. The Omen. Like the whole last half of this movie. The Exorcist. Cool. I get it. Do something with it. And they do nothing with it. Every character makes stupid bonehead decisions, down to the original decision. You walk in that room and you see that girl and how she looks, and you're immediately like, let's bring her home? No help? Like, I get that, like, at some point, like, you know, your like parental instincts kicked in, and like you always act stupider than you would if you were in that situation. But like, to not even get her help, like, outside of your own family, like even down to like when I was done with this movie, there's a scene where a detective comes from Egypt with a videotape. It is very bold to assume that in the year 2026, she just flies halfway across the world, assuming that this family is going to have a VCR ready to go.
Maybe she brought a VCR. You don't know she didn't bring a VCR.
Dude, come on. Like the movie's plot points just exist to move the story along. They don't exist because it's something that makes logistical sense. This movie's terrible. It's hard. Like, is it as bad as Silent Hill? I mean, at least I didn't fall asleep during this one. So maybe not.
I will die on that hill. Whether I'm rage baiting a little bit or not, this is not as bad as Silent Hill. Silent Hill is a disgrace to not only the fandom of Silent Hill, but a disgrace to horror movies in general. The way
this is a disgrace to the Mummy IP. Like at least.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry
because they've made a good Mummy IP in the past 20 some years.
Yeah, and the movie basically misled its audiences by basically calling itself The Mummy to try to tie it to an already existing IP when it's basically just a freaking Exorcist ripoff schlock. Like it's almost offensive. Like
it's like you can't like basically what you're saying is they can't make a single vampire movie and call it Vampire.
No, but you look. Movies have been around since the 1880s. Like, it's very hard to make something original anymore, like truly original. So what you do is you take existing ideas and you add something new to it, and you just stick to the guns of good quality filmmaking, which this movie did not.
That's
like,
what they
Lee
did.
Cronin wrote this movie. He has no excuse for why the script is this bad. Like,
I think that's what they did. They took a pre-existing thing, The Mummy, and they interworked demons into it and made it more of a demonic haunting type thing with The Mummy. So I'm confused as to what you expected from it.
but that's offensive. Like if you remember back to when we were doing our rankings this year, Justin railed on the Until Dawn movie for doing the exact same thing. You basically took a average to below average horror movie that was probably sitting in development hell for years. You stick a recognizable IP on it, and you hope that suckers will come and give them money before word gets out that it's actually terrible.
Please,
like,
find me one person in the
practice.
world that says The Mummy is beloved. Not only beloved, but like who can honestly say their favorite Universal monster is The Mummy? Name one single person.
Okay, Universal monster, no, but like people love those Brendan Fraser
Fraser's
movies,
But
dude.
it's not
like,
a Brendan Fraser movie. Brendan Fraser's movie had
Exactly.
nothing to do with the
it's
original
still
IP.
part of the same IP, Ryan.
No, that was a completely separate IP. Just because there's a mummy in it and it's called The Mummy does not mean it has any connection to the Universal monster, The Mummy. That's like basically saying the Scorpion King is connected to The Mummy.
Look, you may know that, but your average film fan doesn't. And they're going to go in with a certain level of expectations. And you know what? If you duped them and the movie was good, all's forgiven. But it's not. Like, you intentionally misled the public to come and see a subpar movie that, frankly, I think Blumhouse knew this movie was going to suck. Like, and or just praying to God that it's not a massive bust. Like, I don't know. Sorry, Justin, go ahead.
Real quick, are you both trying to say that the 80-year-old couple in the movie theater was not there to see Lee Cronin's Evil Dead: The Mummy?
I don't know what people's movie habits are. All I know is that they probably walked out just as disappointed as me and Justin.
No, they must have loved it, because halfway through the movie, when the toenail thing happened, I heard him go, "Oh my god."
What's your
the
point?
one scene that makes them like the movie.
Yeah.
That means everybody in the movie, the drama, everyone loved it, including us. Then is your logic?
No, nobody said a word
By
that
giving
whole
any
movie.
kind of reaction, that means we love it.
There
Just
was
because
no
they made
reaction
one
during the
reaction-
drama. It was the most
Yeah, but you
silent
were
theater
so
I've ever
immersed
had.
and quiet watching it. That was Tyler's debate. Is that we were all quiet because we were all so immersed in with the story. So just because the old couple made a reaction to one creepy scene, that made them love this movie, is your logic.
Yes.
So then Tyler's movie, the drama, is a good movie then by your logic.
No one said anything.
And you know what, Ryan? I would be willing to forgive it to some degree if the movie wasn't 2 hours and 11 freaking minutes long. It is in no world should a movie like that even sniff the hour 50 mark. Like 2 hours and 11 minutes long is an asinine length for a movie like this, and you know that's true.
I said it could be trimmed down a little bit, yeah.
Trimmed down a little bit. You said that the drama needs to be trimmed down to a short film. Like,
I agree.
This movie
This
needs
should be a short film.
This movie needs to be trimmed out of existence. Like,
I mean, we can agree to disagree. I think that, if you check Letterboxd right now, I still gave it 4 stars.
You're one of the rare people,
Like,
because
is
it's
your-
averaging barely a 2.
Is your Letterboxd a troll too? Like, please tell me you're screwing with me. Like, you cannot sit here and watch a film like that, bastardize your favorite horror movie of all time.
I don't think it
and be like,
bastardized
"Yeah,
at all. I
Like-
truly enjoyed the entire film. There wasn't a single time in that movie where I sat and checked my phone and said, this is stupid now. I don't understand what's going on. I just went with the flow. I had fun with the movie. I'm not seeing the problems that you guys obviously saw.
So the grandma's
I
the
guess we're
smart
nuts
character,
then. Like,
by getting randomly attacked by her granddaughter.
yeah.
Like, even the people in Primate realized, okay, the Primate's dangerous. We need to think of a plan.
But when
they
you
thought of better ideas.
Some of their logic makes sense too. Like, okay, stay in the pool. Okay, maybe try to get close to the edge. Oh, it doesn't work.
But
Oh
you
my
guys
gosh.
off the
are
edge,
complaining
yeah.
about stupid stuff that's like, oh, it's okay, so you can easily
So
explain
then
the
the
thing with the
drama having
grandma.
a conversation with each other would have made it better.
No, so
It's apples to apples.
you're saying that your biggest flaw is like because she headbutted the grandma in the beginning that we should have.
No, the biggest flaw of the movie is because it's a horribly written movie. That's the biggest flaw.
What part of it is horribly written that you're talking about?
The fact that the characters make stupid decision after stupid decision and illogical
stupid decision.
right after one after another, and it constantly takes you out of the movie.
But name one.
Nobody noticed that there's a hole in the ceiling. No one hears that.
The dad physically notices it, and she broke the hole.
Nobody noticed it.
Yes, the dad pulled the rug up and looked, and she broke.
No one notices a little girl pulling every one of her teeth out at a funeral.
No, nobody pays attention to children.
The lady doesn't realize that there's blood on her deviled egg.
No, why do you look down at the deviled egg? It could be paprika.
Paprika. Red paprika.
That's the point on society when we're talking is nobody was actually there for the grandma. It was a point to say that everybody there was just pieces of shit.
It's the 21st goddamn century. Why didn't the cop just FaceTime them the goddamn video?
How was she gonna do the thing?
I don't know. How was she able to talk and like recite a whole chant that somehow she barely knows, but or somehow knows perfectly, by the way, excuse me, and somehow is able to do that by just sticking her finger in there. And also okay, so spoilers. 3.
I mean, we're way into spoilers now.
Okay, so apparently this monster, or whatever Necronomicon ripoff this thing is, transfers to people like when they like spit it into their mouths. And it needs like a vessel to survive so it doesn't like go off and like wreck all of humanity. So did they say that like the vessels, like, do the vessels die off? And then like all of a sudden at the end, like the vessels can just survive? Like,
no,
are they saying
it's a temporary fix?
I mean, for how much damage was done to that body, the girl somehow magically healing is asinine.
So they had said early on in the movie, Tyler, that a child vessel usually lasts around 80 years. So because it wasn't 80 years, there's still life.
Okay, why when they brought the dad out of the coffin at the end of the movie to transfer the power to the woman who originally had control of it, why was he not able to like turn all of his family into deadites?
Well, that's because earlier at the beginning of the movie, when they had to check on the mummy, they're like, is he still asleep? Because I think the demon, once it's transferred into a new body, is partially asleep. You gotta realize 8 years passed from the beginning of the movie, so 8 years.
I mean, clearly it's got some influence because it freaking brought a plane out of the sky. Or we're assuming so, right? Like,
could be an accident. All I know is that was definitely a Professor Nobi speech halfway through the movie, and you looked at me, and I thought you were gonna claw your eyes out at that point, like.
Dude, I like, it couldn't have been a more overt callback to Evil Dead if I've ever seen one. And believe me, I'm not the biggest Evil Dead fan. You know that. And like, that is one of the most overt callbacks to that franchise that I've ever heard. Like,
well, either way, because we're already at 25 minutes, so we should wrap it up. But all I'm gonna say is it was a better Evil Dead movie than 2013's Evil Dead.
No, it's not. Not even freaking close, dude. Like, I know me and you have had it out over that movie for decades at this point. Like 2013, okay, a decade, right? Like you're not a fan, or like you don't think it's an Evil Dead movie because of like what it does like narratively with like addiction and stuff. It's a good remake of the first film. Like, do I rage bait you a little bit and say that it's better than the first film when it's clearly not? Sure, but.
Well, I think it's a fantastic movie. It just doesn't feel like an Evil Dead movie. And it's not even the addiction stuff. I think that's all great storytelling. It's just, it doesn't have the soul of an Evil Dead film.
Like, what do you mean by that? Whatever, it doesn't matter.
You'd have to know. You'd have to just understand.
When should we go see this movie? Or when should you go see this movie?
Yesterday. In theaters, IMAX, 4K, 4D theater experience. Get sand blown in her face.
Justin, see it when it goes to Goodwill. When it's in the bins there, and it's possibly not even in a case. That's when you should see it.
I mean, I would say don't see it at
Next
all.
to
I
Silent
think,
Hill.
yeah. I mean, I would say don't see it at all. I think it's that bad. If you're desperately curious because you like some body horror, wait until you have to pay no money to see it, because it's
Or just see a Saw movie. That's what it felt like.
like this is
Saw
a contender
movies
for
had the
worst of
gross
the year
horror.
so far for me. Like it's definitely in my top 5 worst of the year so far. It's astonishingly bad.
You guys are too harsh on this. I'm excited to see what Lee Cronin does next.
I'm not I am not a fan of Evil Dead Rise. I am not a fan of this movie. I could be less excited to see what Lee Cronin does next.
Let's
Just don't put his name on it.
yeah, right.
I can't say yet that we still have Evil Dead Burn coming out in June or July, maybe July.
July 10th.
Either way,
Yeah, July 10th.
I'm gonna hold off on the Evil Dead talks until that comes out.
Great.
Cool.
What did you think of The Mummy? Are me and Justin right, or is Ryan wrong? Make sure you leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends and family members.
Hail to the king, baby.
Watch that. It's much
Not this
better.
one. Yeah.